7 Signs Your Brain Needs a Break. Hello and welcome. Have you ever reached the end of the day and realized that you were busy for hours, but somehow accomplished almost nothing? You opened the same document several times, checked your phone without knowing why, forgot what you were about to do, and spent far too much time making decisions that normally would have taken only a few seconds. Most people respond to moments like this by pushing themselves harder. They drink more coffee, force themselves to concentrate, and criticize themselves for being lazy or undisciplined, but sometimes the problem is not a lack of motivation. Sometimes your brain is simply asking for a break. Mental exhaustion does not always look dramatic, and you do not have to completely collapse before it becomes real. In many cases, the warning signs appear slowly, which is why they are so easy to ignore. You become a little more forgetful, a little more irritated, and a little less interested in things you normally enjoy. Here are 7 signs that your brain may need time to recover. Sign number 1 is that you cannot absorb information properly. You read a paragraph, reach the end, and realize that you have no idea what you just read, so you start again, but a few moments later your attention disappears once more. The same thing may happen during conversations because someone speaks to you, you hear every word, but your brain does not seem to process the meaning. Concentration requires mental energy because your brain has to ignore distractions, organize information, remember important details, and decide what deserves your attention. When your mental energy becomes depleted, your eyes may still be looking at the screen, but your mind is no longer fully participating. Staying at your desk for another hour may feel productive, but 20 focused minutes after proper rest can often be more useful than an entire hour of forced concentration. Sign number 2 is that small decisions begin to feel strangely exhausting. You cannot decide what to eat, which message to answer first, what to watch, or whether you should complete a task now or later. These choices are normally simple, but suddenly every option feels complicated, so you compare the advantages and disadvantages, change your mind repeatedly, and worry about making the wrong decision. Your brain makes hundreds of choices every day, and even small decisions require attention and energy. When your mind has already spent hours solving problems, switching between responsibilities, and controlling emotions, choosing dinner can feel like one more difficult task. During moments like this, try to reduce unnecessary options, follow a familiar routine, and postpone decisions that do not need to be made immediately. Sometimes rest does not mean doing nothing, and sometimes it simply means removing the pressure to choose. Sign number 3 is that everything starts irritating you. A message arrives and you immediately feel annoyed, someone asks a harmless question and it feels like an interruption, or a website loads slowly and your reaction feels much stronger than the situation deserves. You may even understand that you are overreacting, but still struggle to control the irritation. When your brain is rested, it has more ability to regulate emotional responses because it can pause, understand the situation, and decide whether something is actually worth reacting to. When you are mentally exhausted, that emotional filter becomes weaker, and small inconveniences begin to feel much bigger because your patience is already running low. You may not truly be angry at your family, coworkers, or friends. Your nervous system may simply be overloaded, and every additional demand feels like one demand too many. Sign number 4 is that your body feels tired, but your mind refuses to slow down. You finally lie in bed after a long day, but instead of relaxing, your brain starts reviewing unfinished tasks, embarrassing memories, future responsibilities, and problems that may never happen. Your body wants to rest, but your thoughts keep moving as if they are trying to solve your entire life before you fall asleep. This often happens when your brain has been constantly stimulated throughout the day. You move between messages, videos, work, conversations, and notifications without giving yourself enough quiet time to process anything. Then, when everything finally becomes silent, your mind uses that moment to release all the thoughts it has been holding. Instead of trying to force yourself to stop thinking, create a slower transition between activity and rest. Write down unfinished tasks so your brain does not have to keep remembering them, reduce stimulation before bed, and spend a few minutes doing something calm and repetitive. A brain that cannot switch off does not always need more control. Sometimes it needs a gentler way to slow down. Sign number 5 is that things you normally enjoy begin to feel like work. You finally have free time, but nothing sounds interesting. You start watching a movie and close it after a few minutes, you open a game but quickly lose interest, or you ignore messages from people you genuinely like because even a simple conversation feels exhausting. This can be confusing because free time is supposed to help you feel better, but enjoyment also requires attention and emotional energy. When your brain has been under pressure for too long, it may become difficult to connect with activities that normally make you happy because part of your mind is still managing stress, anticipating problems, or thinking about unfinished tasks. During these moments, do not pressure yourself to find something exciting. Try reducing stimulation instead. Take a quiet walk, sit without your phone, take a shower, or spend a few minutes doing almost nothing. Sometimes your brain needs peace before it can enjoy excitement again. Sign number 6 is that you become unusually forgetful and start making simple mistakes. You forget why you opened an application, leave your keys in an unusual place, send a message with an obvious error, or miss an important step in a task that is normally easy for you. This can happen when your working memory becomes overloaded. Working memory helps you hold and use information for a short period of time, and you depend on it when following instructions, solving problems, remembering what you were about to say, or moving between different parts of a task. When your brain is trying to remember unfinished responsibilities, future plans, worries, messages, and new information at the same time, there is less space available for the task in front of you. Instead of expecting yourself to remember everything, write important information down, turn off unnecessary notifications, and finish one task before opening another. Forgetfulness does not always mean that your memory is becoming worse. Sometimes it simply means that your attention has been divided for too long. Sign number 7 is that you feel guilty whenever you try to rest. You sit down, but immediately begin thinking about everything you should be doing. You take a day off, but spend it worrying that you are falling behind, and even while watching something for entertainment, part of your mind keeps reminding you that other people are working harder. Many people learn to connect rest with laziness and constant activity with personal value, so as long as they are working, solving problems, or answering messages, they feel useful, but the moment they stop, uncomfortable thoughts appear. However, rest is not the opposite of progress because rest is one of the conditions that makes progress possible. Your brain cannot remain focused, creative, patient, and emotionally stable without time to recover. A break does not have to mean disappearing for a week or abandoning your responsibilities. It can mean spending 10 minutes without your phone, eating without watching a video, going outside without trying to achieve anything, or finishing work at the time you originally planned to stop. You do not have to earn rest by completely exhausting yourself. If you have been struggling to concentrate, becoming irritated by small things, forgetting simple information, or losing interest in activities you normally enjoy, do not immediately assume that you have become lazy or undisciplined because your brain may simply be tired. Listen to the warning signs before your body forces you to stop. Give yourself permission to slow down, reduce the noise, and recover before returning to your responsibilities. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, give your mind the rest it deserves, and I will see you in the next video.